Hey everyone, this is Tukon from LeadSift here. I have Chris Ortolano from Outbound Edge. Hey Chris, how are you?
Good. Thanks for taking the time, Tukon. It's a pleasure to be here.
No worries. Thanks for you taking the time to have a chat with us, Chris. As as I mentioned when I reached out to you, talking to our existing customers, prospects, reading up on information on LinkedIn, Twitter, and even Reddit sales communities. One of the things we are seeing is there's a lot of panic, uncertainty amongst the sales and marketing community when they're thinking of doing, their sales prospecting or marketing campaigns, and for good reasons. We are living in uncharted territories. This is unprecedented. Things are happening, but if you are a sales and marketing professional, you still have to, you know, drive demand and build your pipeline, albeit in the right way. But so what I wanted to have a discussion with you, Chris, was, in your opinion, talking to other customers or prospects of yours, what are you seeing and what would you suggest would be some strategies, that actionable steps that sales and marketing professionals at these B2B companies can implement to still keep their sales pipeline growing?
Great question. And as you suggest, we are in uncharted territory. However, it's a great time to stop, pause, and pivot. So I'll clarify. Stop sending the automated cadences that you were using in late 2019 and early 2020, because they are not providing the proper context. Pause to create a framework for creating new templates, which I'll share with you, and pivot towards emerging markets. If you are in a sector right now that is very impacted, pivot towards a new sector that you see an opportunity. It might not be there today, but it could be there tomorrow. So do some work on pivoting towards emerging markets.
I love that idea of stop, pause, and pivot. If you can talk a little bit, Chris, about the pause and creating this new templates, I think that'll be super helpful.
Yeah, so I'd like to give some credit to the folks at Topo and SBI and one of my colleagues, Chris Marin with Convertus. Together, we're trying to develop a framework for new templates, and I came up with a phrase called "keep it honest." And I'll show you in the whiteboard here what I'm talking about. Keeping it honest means leading with a subject line such as seeking feedback or seeking advice, because right now we're all trying to share some concepts of contingency plans and how to adapt our revenue playbooks. Then we can be really honest. Right now, my friends have COVID. And I'd like to know, are you okay? There's a lot to talk about there, and that can lead into a conversation about how you are adapting. What are you considering? What is changing? This is on the top of everybody's mind right now. Notice it's an open-ended question, and I can provide some insights. My company and my community is pivoting in this direction. It's what we're doing. It's our contingency plan. That's what people want to understand right now. And then there is a positive note here. It's a golden opportunity to be more human. We're still going to automate, but we can lean into the crisis with our own personal experience. And closing, hang tough. It's no longer cheers, happy selling. It's hang tough, because this is real. And as we've been talking about, there's real consequences that we need to factor into our business plans at the moment.
That's awesome. I love it. I especially love that last part, hang tough. That's so true. Yeah, cheers is not the best note to say. So what you're suggesting then, Chris, is we rethink and rewrite the templates, the outreach messages that we do. And you position it in a very nice way, saying, asking them how they're doing, how they're adapting, and then sharing your story, how you are adapting, like how we as a business are adapting, or whoever is sending the email. So then let me ask you a follow-up question there, Chris. Let's say you send this, which is great. It leads with empathy, and it's a very nice message. It's a very human message. How does it connect to your business?
Well, my business is core to the shift. So I see this as a golden opportunity. And I would suggest that if you provide, how do we say, a way to focus marketing and sales or customer success or whoever you sell to on business problems, core business problems, which I create 4 buckets for, I'll tell you. There's data, there's workflow, there's metrics, and there's dashboards and integrations. So whatever you do, make sure you address those 4 core business areas. Even if you're peripheral, talk about how it's important to focus on solving problems and not pitch your product or service, okay? So my service, I sell actually, account briefs. These are very significant but short account profiles. They're not account plans that allow you to engage in solving business problems based on the research that I can help you do. And that changes the nature of the conversation. It focuses on core business elements. And I think that's what people want to talk about right now, is how to keep their business running strong, not how to do better sales and marketing.
That's awesome. I have a follow-up question to you, Chris. There is, I know you talk previously, I've read your content where you talk a lot about middle funnel leads. So these are not your cold prospects. These are people that you have spoken to. They're in the middle of the funnel. How does the keep it honest template, or what strategies would you do to reach out to someone that you have been speaking for the last 2-3 weeks, 2-3 months? You haven't had a chance to talk to them in the last 2 weeks. What do you do?
So a classic middle funnel approach is to do a reach out and a report back. So you have to identify the 4 or 5, half a dozen decision makers inside the account and suggest that you have something that they would value that will make an impact on their business. It could be a survey that you've conducted. It could be an executive brief from SBI or Topo. It could be something that you've noticed about their own account. And what you do is you change your messaging so that you're multi-threading, reaching out to these individuals, asking their opinion on this content. And then you invite them all back, this is called the reporting back, to reflect on what everybody has said. It creates a common ground or a table where everybody can have a shared conversation. It's a very effective strategy, especially now. And the most important thing you can share are the contingency plans. Right now, LightSpeed is offering a contingency plan. Brex is offering a contingency plan. SBI has a GTM COVID-19 contingency plan. These are very strong frameworks to help us adapt and shift. And I'm using other people's content right now to reach out and report back.
And you're providing value to them, even if they're in the middle funnel, just saying, hey, just collected this, thought I'd share this with you.
Well, I do more than add value, which is I interpret it. So I have to tip my hat to Topo, Research and Advisory. They came out with recommended messaging procedures for in this period, but it's very complex. It's oriented around enterprise. It might take an SMB mid-market company 2 to 3 weeks to deploy the Topo strategy. It's brilliant, but I'll take one element from it.
Got it.
And I'll deconstruct it and give attribution to the author, Dan Gottlieb in this case,
Sure.
And say, take this one element. Furthermore, would you like to come into a conversation on a webinar and discuss this one element?
Got it.
Right now, webinars and podcasts are extremely strong if you can talk about these elements that help us to adapt our revenue playbooks.
Love it. This is brilliant. Thank you so much, Chris. That is super helpful. Thanks a lot.